San Antonio. San Antonio, Texas. The hidden gem you must visit in the US. Hello, welcome to the Travel English Guide channel. When you think of the United States, which city comes to your mind first? The dazzling cityscape of New York? The casinos and shows of Las Vegas? Or the sunny beaches of Los Angeles? But have you ever heard of San Antonio? Actually, I recently traveled to the US and visited San Antonio myself, and I was truly surprised. It was much more beautiful than I expected, and there were so many things to see and enjoy. San Antonio isn't well known among Koreans yet, so I think many of you might be curious about this city, just like I was. So today I'm going to share everything about San Antonio. By the end of this video, you'll probably be searching for flight tickets. In this video, I'll cover the history and hidden stories of San Antonio, top 5 must-visit attractions, local hidden gem restaurants, travel budget and hotel recommendations, real travel tips. I've packed this video with useful information, so make sure to watch until the end. 1. Where is San Antonio? First, let's find out where San Antonio is located. San Antonio is in the southern part of Texas. Texas is the second largest state in the US, and San Antonio is the second largest city in Texas. It takes about 4 hours by car from Dallas, and about 3 hours from Houston. When I visited, I felt like San Antonio wasn't like a typical big city. It was more like a small European town with a peaceful and cozy atmosphere. 2. The history of San Antonio. San Antonio isn't just a tourist city. It's a city with a very important place in American history. In 1718, Spanish missionaries settled here, and that was the beginning of the city. That's why you can still find traces of Spanish culture everywhere in the city. Street names are in Spanish, and many buildings have Spanish-style architecture. The most important historical event here is the Battle of the Alamo. In 1836, during the Texas Revolution, about 200 American soldiers fought against thousands of Mexican troops for 13 days. Even though they eventually lost, the battle became a symbol of Texas's fight for independence. Now, the Alamo Mission is a museum where you can see soldiers, belongings, and historical records. When I visited, the museum staff explained everything in detail, and I was really touched by the stories. 3. Top 5 must-visit places in San Antonio. 1. The Alamo, the most famous landmark of San Antonio. Entrance is free, but the line is usually very long, so I recommend going early in the morning. 2. River Walk. This is the most beautiful spot in the city. The River Walk is a walking path along the river, with cafes and restaurants lined up on both sides. During the day, you can enjoy coffee and lunch, and at night, you can take a river cruise to enjoy the night view. Especially during Christmas season, the whole area is decorated with lights. It's absolutely magical. 3. San Antonio Missions National Park. Besides the Alamo, San Antonio has 4 more historic missions. These missions were built by Spanish missionaries in the 18th century and were designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2015. The 4 missions are Mission Concepcion, Mission San Jose, Mission San Juan, Mission Espada. The largest and most beautiful mission is Mission San Jose. It has delicately carved doors and windows, giving the impression of being in a European cathedral. You can join a free guided tour to learn more about the history and architecture of the missions. Tip: the missions are a bit far from each other, so renting a bike or driving a car is more convenient. Admission is free for all missions. It's a perfect spot for taking photos. 4. Pearl District. The hottest and trendiest place in San Antonio is the Pearl District. It used to be a beer brewery, but now it's filled with stylish cafes, restaurants, and galleries. On weekends, the Pearl Farmers Market sells local produce and handmade crafts. When I visited, they were selling freshly baked bread, fresh fruits, and Mexican-style street food. So I enjoyed a relaxing brunch like a local. Tip: it gets crowded on weekends, so it's better to go early in the morning. There are many bookstores and design shops around the market. Perfect for shopping. The Hotel Emma in Pearl District is famous. Just having a cup of coffee there is a special experience. 5. Japanese Tea Garden. I didn't expect to find such a charming place in San Antonio. The Japanese Tea Garden is over 100 years old, featuring small waterfalls, ponds, and beautiful bridges. It's a peaceful spot, perfect for a morning stroll. If you visit in the morning, there are very few people, creating a calm atmosphere. There is also a small tea house inside the garden, where you can enjoy Japanese green tea and desserts. Tip: admission is free, but the parking lot is small, so it's better to use public transportation or Uber. For the best photos, visit between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. Reasons you should definitely visit San Antonio. When planning a trip to the United States, do you only think of big cities like New York, Los Angeles, or Las Vegas? If so, I recommend considering a slightly different city this time. San Antonio. San Antonio is a city with a unique charm in the United States. It's not just a place to visit tourist sites, but a city where history, nature, and diverse cultures harmoniously blend together, making it a hidden gem. After personally visiting San Antonio, I became completely captivated by the city. It had a special atmosphere and emotions that you can't experience in other American cities. Today I'll dive deeper into why you should definitely visit San Antonio, a city alive with history and culture. San Antonio is one of the oldest cities in the United States. Its history, which dates back to the Spanish colonial period, is still present, making the entire city feel like a living museum. One of the most iconic spots is the Alamo. The Alamo is an important symbol in American independence history, and it's not just a tourist attraction, but a place where you can feel the spirit of freedom and sacrifice. In addition to the Alamo, there are many beautiful mission ruins throughout San Antonio. The San Antonio Missions National Historical Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is one of the rare places in the US where you can enjoy Spanish-style architecture and a tranquil atmosphere, making it feel like you've traveled back in time. 2. Perfect harmony of nature and city life. San Antonio is a large city that perfectly integrates nature. One of the most famous places is the Riverwalk. The Riverwalk is a walking path along the river that runs through the heart of the city. The area is filled with trees and flowers, with cafes and restaurants lining the walk, making it a great place to visit day or night. Walking along the Riverwalk at sunset, with the lights reflecting on the river, creates an enchanting atmosphere. I sat at a small riverside cafe, sipping coffee while watching the river flow and people pass by, feeling a sense of calm as if time had stopped. It's a place where you can enjoy nature, even within the city, making it incredibly healing. 3. Enjoying the trip like a local. San Antonio isn't as busy and chaotic as New York or Los Angeles. It's not crowded with tourists, so you can enjoy a relaxed atmosphere and interact with the locals. My favorite spot was the Pearl District, an area that was transformed from an old brewery into a trendy hotspot filled with cafes, restaurants, bookstores, and galleries. 4. Romantic atmosphere and night views. San Antonio offers a completely different atmosphere during the day and night. By day, you can enjoy historic sights and nature, but by night, the city sparkles with dazzling lights. One of the most romantic spots is the night view along the Riverwalk. The river cruise, which takes you along the river, is a popular date spot in San Antonio. When I visited, I took a night cruise while listening to soft music, and it truly felt like a dream. 5. A food lover's paradise. San Antonio is the birthplace of Tex-Mex cuisine, a fusion of Texas style and Mexican dishes. Tacos, burritos, and quesadillas, with a unique American twist, are absolutely delicious. One of the best dishes I had was the cheese enchiladas, with melting cheese and a spicy sauce that made every bite a true delight. The most memorable cities after a trip are often those that allow you to experience the true local atmosphere, rather than flashy tourist attractions or bright city lights. San Antonio was exactly that kind of city. It may not be large or extravagant, but in its quiet and leisurely ambience, I was able to slowly savor the charm of the city, alongside the locals. If you're planning a trip to the US, consider choosing San Antonio over New York or LA. You'll undoubtedly create unforgettable memories.